for it. Take your time.
Got the full body workout today, full body. Great, great.
You want any more?
No. Yeah, you want to come over here for the interview?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
So how you doing, Steve?
Good, real good.
That was tough.
You look tough. Okay, I'd just like to let you know I'm really appreciative of this interview here today. And just want to go ahead and ask you a few questions.
Sure.
First question, what is your name?
So I'm Haroon Ford.
Haroon.
Yeah.
A very unusual name.
It is.
Does it stand for anything?
It's Aaron in Arabic or in Hebrew.
Right.
Yes.
Interesting. And what is your weight?
At the moment, I think I'm 92.
92 kilos.
92 kilos, yeah.
And your height?
5'11".
5'11". Great. So I just interrupted your workout. I just want to ask you a few questions. And you seem to be quite fit man. You seem to be in a decent shape. And what brings you to the park today? Why are you not at home watching EastEnders, watching football, hanging around?
Yeah.
What brings you to the park today?
Well, I like fitness in general. I enjoy exercising.
Great.
And one of the things that's been positive for me about the lockdown is that it's brought me outside to these environments to train. And yes, now the gyms are open again.
Right.
But I still like to get in body weight sessions when the weather's good outside if I can.
Great. And it seems to me you're fit anyway. What's your preference? Do you prefer outside? Do you like gyms? Do you like weights? I mean, what's your routine like?
So the kind of training that I do is CrossFit training.
Okay.
So I tend to train at a CrossFit box
Okay.
with other CrossFitters, and I really enjoy doing that. But a change of environment is always healthy, just to
Great.
change the mindset.
Some of our viewers have obviously heard about CrossFit and might not be familiar with them. What's the benefits of CrossFit?
So CrossFit is essentially what it says. It's trying to use different domains of fitness to build your fitness. So for example, one of the things is that your endurance should never be so good that it counters your strength. Like, you should be able to have strength and endurance.
Great.
You should be able to have agility and strength. So CrossFit aims to allow you to work in all of these different domains.
Fantastic.
You know, rather than just concentrating on one specific area, you should be touching on as many domains as possible.
And how are you finding it? How is it benefiting you?
In terms of my fitness, my overall fitness, my rounded fitness, it's been absolutely amazing.
Okay.
Once upon a time, my fitness would have been very much kind of cardio based, so a lot of cross circuit kind of circuit training, a lot of running, but now incorporating obviously a lot more of the weights as well has given me a strength element to my training that was possibly missing once upon a time, and so I feel a lot more rounded in my fitness.
Okay.
And I feel like I could, whilst not necessarily being the best in any particular environment, I could adapt very easily to different sporting environments.
So you're subscribing to a hybrid type of fitness. You're not just saying weights, you're not just saying cardio or calisthenics, but the whole package.
Everything you should be able to do and move across different domains. Absolutely. Okay. That's fitness. That's real fitness. Because it should be transferable to anything that you're doing in life on a day-to-day.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to the man speak.
Yeah. So that's the ideal, you know. So what you're doing should be transferable to your daily life. So how you squat in terms of lifting.
Okay, let's talk about diet for a moment. How important is diet to you? Do you eat clean? I mean, what is your basic kind of diet? What would you eat in a week or in a day, basically?
I try not to work in extremes, so I don't try to work in the margins in terms of super clean or unhealthy. I try to stay somewhere in the middle. So what I find is more important for me and what's benefited me more, rather than concentrating on particular foods, is portion control.
Right.
So if there is something that's slightly unhealthy that I want to have, I can incorporate it into my eating routine through portion control, you know, and just not becoming excessive in terms of overindulging. So for example, I wouldn't have, like, you know, maybe the 5 or 6 big spoons of ice cream that I might have had once upon a time that may have been cut down now, and I won't go back to it for, you know, maybe until the week after, so it's my treat.
So I take it what you mean, discipline in eating and fitness is very important.
Absolutely.
Sacrifice at the dinner table, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Portion control is the one. You know, like in our community in particular, for example, when we have our rice and peas, we like to have mountains of rice and peas.
Talk to him, brother. Tell him.
Which is great, but it's, you know, it's a carb, it's starchy, it's essentially not great for us in terms of the amount that we put on our plate. So whilst I say have it, I would just say look at the portions, you know.
Nice advice.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the mental aspect of training for a minute. Hold on 1 minute. What is your job? Can I ask you what you do?
Sure. So I'm a P.h.D. researcher.
Wow.
University, yeah.
So what university are you studying at?
I'm at SOAS, and I'm in the anthropology department, so I'm studying anthropology. I'm researching anthropology.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
So when you pass, what qualification will you have?
I'll have a doctorate. I'll be a doctor.
Wow!
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah.
So I guess next time I talk to you, it will be Haroon, P.h.D. I'll have to call you.
We hope so. That's the aim.
I'm sure you'll be able to do it, my brother. I'm sure you'll be able to do it.
Thank you.
Let's flick to the mental aspects. Like I was saying, the mental aspects of training. How has that helped with your studying, if it has helped?
Yeah, it has. I mean, like anyone who's a PhD or early career researcher will tell you that when you're studying at that level, it's quite isolating in terms of, it can be quite isolating because it's independent study, and so a lot of the time is spent alone researching, reading, etc. And that can feel a little bit isolating mentally.
Definitely.
And it can also feel quite lonely at times.
Correct.
So what training I find helps me do is gives me an excuse to get out of that environment, of that work environment, that work mindset. And also with the training, that release of endorphins and that kind of reboost of energy, or that sense of achievement after training is invaluable to me, you know, just in terms of maintaining my mental health.
So the knock-on effects of training are a universal. You saying that it helps you in your private life too.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people who have trained during this lockdown, for example, recognise the benefits of training in terms of allowing you to challenge yourself, to feel positive about yourself, like you're achieving something. With training, you can actually have daily goals. It's possible to have daily goals and achieve them and keep moving forward and progressing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, what would you say to someone that's thinking about training, they're a bit overweight, they're feeling underdone? We've been through a bad year with the COVID.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to get fit now. They realise fitness is important. I mean, what would be your personal advice you'd give to someone who started out on a fitness trail?
I would say start. Just start.
Just do anything. Just be active.
Just begin, yeah. And that activity doesn't have to be, again, excessive. So again, rather than trying to work at the extremes, just try to find a nice middle and balanced ground. So you don't have to feel compelled to do an hour-long session. Training doesn't have to be an hour long. It could be a very cardio-based or kind of height-based 15-minute session. Just anything to get the heart rate up and to get the body moving and to get the body just feeling like it's moving. Like one of the things that's funny, my grandmother said to me that when you move, when you stop, when you don't move, the body shuts down. So the idea is to keep moving.
Listen, people, listen to this advice.
This is coming from a senior. So
you're never too old, or you're never too young to start.
Yeah. So for example, she's out doing her 5Ks with her little crew, you know, like every day. So I would.
Is that your grandmother?
That's my grandmother. Yeah. So
big up to your grandmother.
Yeah, big up indeed. But I would definitely encourage people to just do something, walk in, run in, you know, just do anything you can. There's so much information out there, so much accessible workout plans, you know. Just
so definitely health is wealth. You invest in your health.
Health is wealth for sure. What you don't want to do, however, is do something that's not realistic and attainable.
So like if you're building a wall, you just brick by brick. That's what you're saying. Just slowly. So
incremental change is so much more beneficial than an extreme change that you know within yourself you won't be able to maintain.
Fantastic. What could people gather for inspiration? I mean, are you a great reader? Do you watch TV? I mean, what can people use to inspire yourself?
Yeah, so I read a lot.
You read?
Enough, I do. So funnily enough, I've got a couple of books in my bag.
Okay, great.
That I read.
Live TV, great. You have the books with you?
Yeah, I do. So outside of my study, one of the things that's very important to me is the idea of self-empowerment, but particularly for our community, the Black community, and Afro-Caribbean community, and the African community. And so these are a few of the books that I'm reading at the moment.
Okay, let the people know. Give us a brief review.
So this book is called Pan-Africanism: A History, and it's by.
Can you hold it up a bit closer to the camera?
It's by Professor P.h.D.
Okay.
Who is a professor at Chichester University and a historian, and he's the most prominent UK-based historian on Pan-Africanism. Okay. So he looks at, in this book in particular, for example, touches on Garveyism, mentions Du Bois, mentions negritudes like Amisazir, and the various influential leaders in this movement, George Padmore, Russ McConan, etc. People who essentially helped with the independence movement of Africa, helped to build what is today the AU, and it's just a really nice history of that movement.
Fantastic.
And
book number 2?
Yeah, sure. So P.h.D. is, for me, the most prominent scholar of Pan-Africanism. Okay. So that's more of a contemporary history. But if you want to understand our kind of more ancient history, I would definitely look at reading any of the material by this gentleman, Robin Walker. Okay. Robin Walker, known as the Black History Man. And this book is just amazing because it touches on many of the early civilizations in Africa. One of the issues that we have here in the UK is that history tends to be taught, Black history in particular tends to be taught from the slavery period onwards, almost as if there was no pre-slavery history. And what Robin does is constantly defies that premise by providing resource after resource on Black history. He also teaches courses here in the UK as well.
Fantastic.
I've had the pleasure of sitting down with him. But yeah, this is one of his good books. So as an introductory book, if you want to learn about early African history, start here. Very
fantastic,
simple.
fantastic.
You know, yeah.
And your last book?
And so the last one, this is just a very small little book, but it's about one of our Black heroes. I don't know if you can see that, but it's about a gentleman named Rodney.
Just stretch out a bit, stretch out.
Walter Rodney. So I don't know if you can see that.
Okay.
So it's just a brief history of Walter Rodney's life. And so Walter Rodney wrote one of the most seminal, important texts of the 20th century called How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. And that term underdeveloped is a theme throughout the book. So looking at how, for example, the stealing of people for human capital led to the underdevelopment of Africa, because obviously we lost a lot of our young men and women who would have been able to help grow economies and grow societies. How imperialism changed the structure of African communities, you know, taking away some of the more traditional systems that we had in place.
Okay.
And so Walter Rodney, this is just a little brief book about his life. And what I would like to say as well, this is actually published by a gentleman called Eric Huntley. And Eric Huntley and his wife have one of the most important Black bookshops in this country. His wife Jessica has passed away, but he was a pioneer in terms of providing resources for the Black community on who we are. And so he's also produced this book and several others as well about some of our key thinkers like C.L.R. James, etc. So
fantastic,
yeah, very
fantastic.
People. Yeah, so
we've got some knowledge today, we've got some exercise knowledge, and indeed we've got some book reading knowledge for anyone who's interested out there.
You're now watching Health is Wealth. Check it out on YouTube. Comment down below, like and subscribe. Peace.